We continue our State of the Union coverage with the great Senator Kevin Cramer from North Dakota. And the question before, first of all, welcome, Senator. It's a pleasure to see you on set, actually.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for including me.
You've been on set in New York.
I have.
This is okay. I just want to make sure that's a very important part of our show. So here's a question. It's easy. Here's China with their balloons and everything else that China does, okay? Getting ready to invade Taiwan, God knows what. And here's John Kerry. As I understand it, no one knows for sure, he is conducting some kind of secret negotiations on climate change, with the Chinese Communist Party, and nobody knows what he's doing, and he will not appear before Congress. Do you have any sense of what this is, what Kerry is doing, who he's representing, and why we would do China a favor at this point in time?
Well, I have no idea, and that's why Chairman Cramer is calling him up and calling him in and subpoenaing information, because John Kerry's not elected. He hasn't been confirmed. In fact, they had to make up the title. And the only thing I can see that he'd be doing with China as far as climate goes is transferring his climate guilt to them. Wow. Because when you look at everything they want to do, they're all in on electric vehicles, but they're all out on mining for the minerals that you need to make electric vehicles. They're all in on a $7,500 per electric vehicle tax credit, but they're all out on producing them here. So guess what? They just give the $7,500 to Chinese companies to make.
They should just give it direct, like the government refundable tax credit check.
Well, as you know, a $7,500 electric vehicle tax credit just means the price of the car went up $7,500 to the consumer. It does nothing for the consumer.
No. But so on that same vein, how dumb is it? If again, you know that China is our adversary. Once again, they just proved this with the crazy Chinese balloon story. Why would you stop mining in Minnesota? Okay, this is the so-called iron, what is it called?
Iron Range.
The Iron Range.
Metals.
Near Lake Superior. It has tremendous copper, nickel, tin, whatever they have, lithium that goes into batteries that we have to make. Why would you stop the mining? There's a 20-year mining ban on that, just put on by the Interior Department of Joe Biden. Why would you do that?
Well, Larry, not only did they do that, they didn't even finish the EIS that they were going to do to determine, how to do it. They did the same a day or two later to the Pebble mine up in Alaska.
Right.
So it's hypocrisy at its worst. They're counting on people like you and me not calling them out on it. We need to.
All right.
It's just grossly inappropriate, and it's hypocritical at its core. And worse than that, Larry, they're transferring all of this to not just an adversary, but somebody who doesn't share our values in any way, shape, or form, including climate and environmental values, labor values. I mean, they use slave labor. And guess where else they do? Africa. So you want mining for electric vehicles for the batteries? Look at the little kids that are in toxic dirt on their knees and hands in Africa mining cobalt.
So, Senator Cramer, you'll be in the room tonight, I assume?
I will.
Getting up and down and cheering the president.
Every now and then, I'm Lutheran. I don't do,
Do you expect him? Do you expect Mr. Biden to just come out and say, and I've changed my mind, and we're going to have a broad-based permitting bill now. We're going to open up permitting for fracking, for pipelining, for refining, for LNG. Joe Manchin was right, and I'm going to accommodate him. You think he's going to come out for permitting reform?
Right after he says, I'm going to bring in Kudlow and Laffer and more to do my economic. But all of that said, I'm going to be hopeful, because I am. I'm like you. I'm eternally optimistic. I will say this. If he wanted to hit a home run tonight, he would just re-give the speech he gave at the National Prayer Breakfast the other day, where he talked about unity without a whole bunch of baggage hanging around it. But I don't expect that. He's going to pretend he's ushered in a great economy, and of course, everybody that buys things knows that's not true. So the victory lap, I'm afraid, will overshadow anything else he does. But it'd be great to hear a unifying message. It really would, and to just leave it at that. Let's say we've got a divided government. We're going to work together. We need to compromise to find solutions. I'm working with Kevin. Let's go team. That'd be swell.
Yeah, I agree. I gave him my options just tonight at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, no, I heard it all.
But he never called. It's a pity.
He was taking notes.
Senator Kevin Cramer from North Dakota. We're going to go out to North Dakota this year.